Hello everyone, thank you again for joining me for another video. So today I'm going to teach you how I make this beautiful little tote bag that you can take anywhere. Thank you to all my subscribers and to all my new members. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. To anyone watching my video, I thank you for your time and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the video. So I have here my bead 8mm and I'm going to use my 50-pound beading wire to start with. So let me cut some and let's get started. So here this is my line and I'm going to start with 5 bead. Let me push this aside and let's get started. So I'm going to start with 5. So string 5 bead on the line like this. We are going to cross the last one with the other end of the line. Just like this. Now, let's continue with 2 on each line and cross again with another bead. Like this. And we are going to repeat the same. This is how it's looking like. We are going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to put 2 on each line and I'm going to cross again like this. Then cross again with the 5th one. Cross both ends of your lines into the bead and pull. Just like that. So this is how it's looking like. 2 on each line. Let's repeat the same thing again. I put 2 on each line and I'm going to cross again with the 5th bead. Like this. So with this I added 6 more rings to it and we are going to end this row with 5 bead like how we started. So 2 and I'm going to hold 1 and cross my line into it like this. So we start with 5 over here and we end the row with 5. We end it here 5. So 5 from the beginning and we end in 5 bead. This line 5 bead. This is the second row that we are starting. Into the next 2 bead. I'm adding 3 bead. So this line into the next 2 bead. Bead. So this is how the weave is looking like and we are going to continue the same way. We are going to continue into the next 2 bead. I'll be adding 3 bead. So this is how we are going to continue to make yours and we meet here. Continue to make it. I'm going to make mine off camera. So now I'm going through the last 2 bead over here at the end into the next 2 bead. 3 bead. And I'm going to go through the last bead at the top over here. I'm going through the last bead over here at the top. And I'll be adding 3 bead to my right line and 1 to my left. across and pull like this. So let's continue. To start the third line, I'm adding 4 beads to my line. 4 beads. I'm crossing the last one with the other end of the other line. Now, into the next 2 beads, this and this. Going through these 2 beads over here, and I'll be adding 3 beads. 3 beads. I'm going through the next 2 beads and add 3 beads. This is 3 beads I add to the line. I'm going to go through the next 2 beads. Now I'll be adding 3 beads. The same thing we are going to repeat over here is the same weave. So we are going to go to 2 and add 3 beads. Into the next 2 beads, add 3 beads. So here I'm in my last 2 beads and I'm adding 3 beads. I'm going to go to the last bead on the top. And I'll be adding 3 beads. Like this. So let's start the 4th row. This line into the next bead. Going to go through this bead over here, and I'll be adding 4 beads on this line. 4 beads. And I'm going to go through next 2 beads. Add 3 beads. Into the next 2. Bead. Into the next 2 beads. Bead. And I'm in the last 2 over here. I'm going to go to the next 2 beads. I'll be adding 3 beads to my line. This line, 3 beads. So now the 4th row is complete, and we are going to start with another row. Over here, I'm going to go to the next bead. Add 3 beads. Like this. This is how the shape is looking like. I'm going to go to the next 2. I'm adding 3 beads. Now into the next 2. 3 bead. This is how we are going to continue to weave. We are going to use this weave throughout the entire weave. Next 2, I'm adding 3 bead. So continue to the last 2. And now I'm in the last bead, the last 2 bead over here, and the number of bead I'm going to add to my line, this line, 2 bead. Just like this. Now we complete the base that we are going to build our bag on. This is how the shape is looking like. This is the base that we build, a round shape base. That's what we are going to weave. So this is the base that we are going to continue to use for the bag. Like this. This is how it's supposed to look like. So we are going to continue with this line into the next bead. And I'll be adding this line 4 bead. I'm going to go to the next 2 bead, this line into the next 2 bead. This line, 3 bead. And I'm going to continue this line into the next 2 bead. Now I'll be adding to this line 3 bead. Now into the next 2. This line, 3 bead. This is how it's looking like. We are going to continue around the shape and come back. Let me do it one more time into the next 2 bead. And now I'll be adding 3 bead. So continue with yours, and I'll do mine off camera. So continue around the shape and add your bead. And now I'm about to complete the first row. I'm going to go through all these 4 bead over here. All these 4 bead, my line is going to go through. Okay, I'm going to show you when I put the line through, so you know where your line should be. This 4 bead, your line should be in this 4 bead. Turn back. This is how it's supposed to look like. And now I'll be adding 2 bead to complete the first row. Okay, now we are going to build on it. So I'm going to go through the next the next bead, not 2 bead, but 1 bead, and add 4 bead. I'm going to go to the next 2. We are repeating the same thing over here. So we're going to go through 2 bead and add 3. Bead. Like this. So continue round the shape and build on it into the next 2 bead. Three bead. I'm going to go through the next two. Go through the next two beads and add 3 beads. So this is how it's looking like. We are going to continue round the shape until you complete this row. So we are going to build on it 4 times. Go round, and I'll do my off camera and I'll meet you back here. This is how it's supposed to look like. It's taking shape already. So I built on it 4 times already. So this is the shape, and we are going to continue to make our little design in the middle. So here is the shape, okay? Here is the shape. If you're done with yours, I'm going to show you what we are going to do next. And now my thread is in 2 bead over here, like this. It's in 2 bead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add to this line. This is the dark pink pearl I'm going to use, dark pink bead, okay? I'm going to use. So I'm adding 1 light, 2 dark, and 1 light on my line, and I'm going to cross and pull into the next 2. Use 3 bead. Into the next 2. Add 3 bead. I'm adding 2 dark and 1 light. You can use your own bead that you think is perfect for you. You can use your own colors to do the little design. Into the next 2 bead. I'm adding 3 bead. 3 bead. I'm going to go through the next 2. Three bead. So this is how it's looking like. This is how the design we are going to make is looking like. I'm going to continue round the edge until I complete it. So you to continue with yours, and I'll meet you back here. This is how the design is looking like. We are putting the dark one on the top, and here I'm about to complete this row. Okay, I'm adding my 3 bead. Into the next 2 bead, I'm adding 3 bead. And I'm going to go through all these 4 because we are stepping up. I'm going to go through all these 4 bead over here and come up so we can continue our weaving. Two bead. So this line into the next bead. This is how my line is looking like in the bead. This is how where my line is, okay? So I'm adding 1 pearl, 2 bead, and 1 pearl. So it's 2 pearls and in between 2 dark bead like this. I'm going to go through the next 2 bead into the next 2 bead. I'm going to add 2 bead and 1 pearl. I'm using 12mm pearl over here. 12mm. This is what I'm using. Into the next two. Three bead. 2 dark, 2 bead and 1 pearl. I'm going to go through the next two, and this is how the pattern is going. This is what we are going to repeat all round. I'm going to go to the next two and add 2 dark bead and 1 pearl like this. I'm going to go around. This is how the design is looking like. This is very beautiful. It's looking pretty already. I'm going to continue around the shape until I complete this row, and I'm going to build on it 2 times. Okay, I'm going to complete it and build another one on it, and I'll meet you back here. So this is how it is looking like. This is the design. Very beautiful, very pretty. This line into the next bead. So over here, this row, I'm going to continue with the light pink. I'm going to continue with the light pink the way we're weaving it. The same thing we are going to continue to build on top over here. So I'm going to build on it 2 times. I'm going to make 2 rows on top of this one. Into the next 2 bead. 3 bead. Into the next 2. I'm adding 3 bead over here. Three bead. I'm going to go through 2 and add 3 like this. To the next 2 bead, add 3 bead. Go to 2 and add 3. So I'm going to repeat the same thing, and I'm going to continue round the top, build on it 2 times. This is how it's looking like. Okay, I'm going to go round and make another more on top of it. That means I'll be using light pink 2 times. Okay, now I made 2 rows on top of this design that we made, and this is how it's looking like. Very pretty, very beautiful bag. Very beautiful. And what left now is handle. Just have to put handle on it. And I made 2 ideas. Okay, I want to give you idea of how your handle should look like. You can make a bead string and put on the side of it like this. Put a hook on it and hook it on both sides of your bag and use it as a crossbody bag like this. If you like, you make this one. Make the hook and hook it on the side of it like this. Okay, on the side, and make it as a crossbody bag for yourself. That is one idea of the handle. And now the second one, you can use this. You can make this handle too. You can make this one and use this one too. You make 2 of these. It's just a preference. Okay, which one you prefer, you make it and put on it and use as a handbag. and this is how it's looking like. This is how you attach. When you attach it, this is how it looks like. Very pretty, very beautiful. You can take it anywhere, everywhere you want to take it to. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you again in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, give me thumbs up, and also share to friends and loved ones. Bye.